What's up, guys? It's Jay, MorninAfterKill, and I'm back here with some more Borderlands Presequel news and information. If you've been following my channel or Borderlands Presequel news in general, you'll know that yesterday 2K and Gearbox released a brand new trailer showing off some really cool things inside of the Presequel. And the last time I've talked about Wilhelm, we took a look at his action skill and what a few things inside of his hunter-killer skill tree actually does. And yesterday's Moondance trailer showed us just a little bit more about Wilhelm's other skill trees, which are called Cyber Commando and the Dreadnought skill tree. Now, the Dreadnought skill tree is the one that I couldn't make out the name of inside of my last video. And when I first saw this, I was like, what the fuck is a Dreadnought? So I went and I looked it up, and it's actually the name of early 1900 battleships, and I'm pretty sure that that was actually out in Europe. So here in America, we did call them battleships. So forgive me for not knowing what a Dreadnought is, but we've already speculated that the hunter-killer tree deals heavily into Wilhelm's surveyor attack drone Wolf, and even though we only see 2 skills in the trailer from the Dreadnought tree, with a name like Dreadnought, meaning battleship, it's pretty easy to infer that this tree deals with Buffin Saint, who is actually the defensive surveyor drone. So the first skill in the Dreadnought tree that's shown is called Auxiliary Tanks, which is pretty much your standard action skill cooldown and duration increase, and no doubt this is a pretty good early tier skill that you're going to want to spec into for Wilhelm, no matter what tree you spec into, since having your action skill cooldown faster and last longer is a very good thing to have inside of Borderlands. So the second skill that's inside this tree shown is Fortify. Now, Fortify, quite simply, this gives you increased weapon damage while Saint is active. So Wilhelm and both Wolf also receive a health boost from this skill. So this skill is shown spec 4 out of 5, and the maximum spec shows that the health boost that you're going to get for Wilhelm and Wolf is both at 15% with an extra 25% weapon damage that only applies to Wilhelm. So now after they've spec'd into these 2 skills, they skip back over to the middle skill tree, which is called the Cyber Commando tree, which we can confirm through the Moonbase trailer and these images that I'm showing you right now that this is the tree that gives Wilhelm a slightly more robotic look to him, although they only spec'd into 2 skills that actually give you cyber augmentations, and he didn't really change that much of a look except for some metal arm covering. So I don't really know exactly how robotic Wilhelm's actually going to get, but it's still cool to see a little bit of skill trees evolve into characters on the outside from what they look like. So the first skill that they show is called Man and Machine, which gives you an increase of shield capacity and health for both you and Wolf. At max spec, this skill shows shield capacity and max health for Wilhelm at 20%, while Wolf gains 40% for both stats. So it seems like that Wolf is gaining quite a bit of buffs from these stats, so we don't know exactly how weak Wolf is to start out and how strong Saint is going to be at the beginning, but it looks like that Wolf is going to be your primary buffing surveyor drone, although we still haven't seen much of the Dreadnought tree, so that's just up for some speculation. Now the second skill on the tree is a skill that activates after killing an enemy, and this skill is called Target and Scope. Maxed out, this skill gains 50% critical hit damage and 25% accuracy. Never a bad thing to have extra critical hit damage, but the next 2 skills they show are called Power Fist and Shock Absorber, and they're both 1-point skill point skills, which means you only have to put 1 skill into it to have it, and then you don't have to put any more extra into it. And the first one, Power Fist, is a melee override, and in orange text it shows cyborg augmentation to his arm. So this is how we're gonna know when a skill is gonna change the physical look of what Wilhelm has when you see this orange text inside of the skill tree. So the first bit of evidence that we see of Wilhelm becoming kind of robotic with this skill is a little bit of a metal on his arm, which isn't that big of an augmentation, but like I said, this is very early and things are subject to change with how they look. But this skill gives you an extended range punch that's explosive. That actually sounds all kinds of awesome, especially since we're on the moon with low gravity. I'm gonna wanna big punch somebody right the fuck off the goddamn moon. But the next skill, Shock Absorber, is even more awesome, and it's another cyborg augmentation. You can see by the orange text on the screen, and most likely this will be showed from the knees down because we can't really see too well in the screenshot because it stops at his knees and his legs don't really change. But anyway, this skill gives Wilhelm 25% extra damage and the ability to shoot while sprinting. Now, this is worth it, honestly, in my opinion, just for the extra gun damage, but I had a perk inside of Titanfall called Run and Gun, and it was really fast moving around and shooting while sprinting, so this seems like a very fantastic skill, and it's a first for the Borderlands franchise. But these two skills kind of seem like they're coming from Titanfall, because the Titans do have a huge punch with an extended range, and also the ability to shoot while sprinting. So even though it's a little bit maybe taken from Titanfall, I'm not saying it is ripped off from Titanfall. I'm not saying that. Don't say that I said that. I'm just saying it's pretty cool to see first-person shooters change the way they kind of are looking at how they want to move around the battlefield. Since we do have low gravity, there is double jumping, there is long jumping, maybe a short little bit of a hover. But, you know, Titanfall, you have the parkour, the wall running, the double jumping, and you also have the shooting while sprinting. It's nice to see first-person shooters getting a little bit of evolution, and it's not in one of those PvP cookie-cutter Medal of Honor Call of Duty motherfucking games. It's in a Borderlands motherfucking style game, so that's actually pretty fucking awesome to see first-person shooters evolve like that. But that's not the topic of the commentary. Let's go ahead and move on, because the next skill, I want to talk about this a little bit because I didn't really like this too much at first once I read it. It's called Emergency Response, and it says when your shields become depleted, you get increased fire rate, reload speed, and Whoop's fire rate is buffed significantly as well. The problem is that your shield must fully recharge in between activations, and you gain a 30% fire rate and reload speed, and Whoop's fire rate is increased to 75%. Now, I know a lot of you guys are like, Mac! Sounds pretty close to what Zero's Fearless skill is. Why the hell would you hate the skill? Well, because it says that the shield needs to recharge fully in between each activation of Emergency Response for it to activate again. And I was like, man, you know, Borderlands, you take a lot of fire from a lot of different places, and it could be a while before your shield goes back up, until I seen them spec into the next skill, which honestly, I would say you probably want to go ahead and max out the next skill first before you touch the other one called Emergency Response, because I'm gonna go ahead and explain this to you, because it could get just a little bit tricky. Alright, listen. Divert Power is a skill that has a cooldown of 25 seconds. And every time it activates, it only activates for 3 motherfucking seconds. I know you're like, that doesn't sound very good, but this is where it gets really all kinds of awesome. So, what it does is when your shields are down and your health reaches a threshold on the screen, it shows that the threshold is 30% for taking damage. Once you take damage at that point, you get a massive shield regeneration and damage resistance for 3 seconds. Now, with 2 skill points spec, you have 66.7% damage resistance, and it recharges 40% of your shield. At the next level, you get 75% damage resistance, and it recharges 60% of your shield. So, each time you put a skill point into the skill, you're gaining 20% shield increase of how much it recharges your shield. So, if you max this out at 5 out of 5, every time this activates, it's going to recharge your shield up to 100%, which is going to go ahead and make Emergency Response able to activate again once your health goes down. So, this seems like it's kind of like working in a really awesome tandem to kind of keep his shields going up health going down, damage resistance shield going back up, and all while this is happening, he is getting all types of fire rate, reload speed, and Wolf is at a 75% motherfucking fire rate. That is absolutely amazing sounding, and the fact that we're not even taking into consideration that this shield drone could be there to help you out all along this is happening, it seems like Wilhelm is gonna be a very capable character, and I can't wait to see these two skills in action together in tandem, because it sounds so impressive the way they laid this out. I'm really digging the way Wilhelm's looking, and I gotta say, like, I really am looking forward to every single character inside of this game, and the more I hear about them, the more awesome they get. I like the way these two skills work out. We haven't even gotten to his capstone yet, and we don't even know what that is, because those are the only skills they showed us inside of this trailer. So, my name is Jay. MorninAfterKill. Make sure you guys rate, comment, subscribe. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you could leave a thumbs up on the video, I'd highly appreciate it, because it gives me motivation to make more videos for you motherfuckers that watch my motherfucking videos. This was just the first look at Wilhelm's other skill trees that we didn't know exactly what they did, and now we know that Dreadnought is a Saint defensive attack drone skill tree, and Cyber Commando is what goes ahead and augments Wilhelm and gives him some cybernetic attachments and really awesome sounding skills at the bottom when you get Divert Power and Emergency Response working in tandem. And I think that would be really fucking cool if you see, like, because you know a cracked sash is going to make its way in the game. It was in Borderlands 1 and Borderlands 2. If you pick up a cracked sash with that type of reload charge, holy fucking shit. You're like, pew, 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 pew. What are you doing, Wilhelm? He's like, not much. Just kicking ass out here with reverse help gate shields, motherfucker. Fuck you. and if shields actually work how they're supposed to inside this game, not like Borderlands 2, but it's pretty sure that in True Vault Hunter mode, you're not really gonna have a problem, because shields work in Borderlands 2 in True Vault Hunter mode, I should say. I didn't mean Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. Fuck it up. Wait until 15 minutes to fuck up in this goddamn fucking video. Goddamn, I'm done. My name's Jay, MorninAfterKill. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna see you guys later.